This little scene might seem like a metaphor for resilience, the idea that no matter how tough things get, you can summon the strength to get through. And you know what? It's true. But what's equally true is that resilience often comes from an unexpected source: hope. Today, we're diving into the powerful relationship between hope and resilience, a relationship that was brought to light in one of the most unsettling experiments conducted in the 1950s by Dr. Kurt Richter. Now, before we dive in, let's be clear. This experiment is disturbing, but it reveals something profound about the human capacity to persevere. Dr. Richter conducted an experiment involving rats and water. He wanted to see how long they could swim before giving up. He started with domesticated rats, placing them in buckets filled with water. The first rat swam, explored, and eventually drowned after 2 minutes. Others followed suit, surviving just as long. But then something interesting happened. Dr. Richter took the rats out, dried them off, and gave them a short rest before placing them back in the water. What happened next was astounding. Those same rats, who had only survived for 2 minutes earlier, now swam for 60 hours. 60 hours! What changed? Hope! When the rats were removed from the water and given a chance to rest, something clicked in their brains, a belief that rescue could come again. They pushed their bodies beyond their natural limits because they had experienced a glimmer of hope before. The same experiment with wild rats, known to be excellent swimmers, had a different result. Without any hope of rescue, they gave up quickly, despite their natural ability to survive. So, what does this mean for us? It means that when we believe help might come, when we feel like there's something to hold on to, we can endure far more than we think. Hope is a powerful motivator, and without it, even the strongest can falter. But here's the problem. As humans, we're not always good at asking for help. We don't always recognize when we need it, or we feel awkward about accepting it. Sometimes, there's simply no one around to offer support. So, what do we do when we're in that place? How do we keep going when there's no one to pull us out of the water? Here's where things get interesting. When you can't find hope for yourself, one of the most powerful things you can do is give hope to someone else. That might sound counterintuitive, right? How can you help someone else when you're struggling to keep your head above water? But the truth is, our capacity to help others is almost limitless. Even when we're exhausted, stressed, and overwhelmed, we have an innate ability to support others, often more than we can support ourselves. It's part of our evolutionary wiring. Helping others fulfills a deep psychological need for connection. When we reach out to offer hope, we remind ourselves that we're part of something bigger than our own struggles. Our brain craves that connection, and in giving hope, we often find it for ourselves. It's not just an emotional lift. It's rooted in psychological theories like the equity theory and empathy-altruism theory. The equity theory suggests that we're happiest when what we give and receive is in balance. Helping others makes us feel like we're contributing to that balance. And the empathy-altruism theory? It says that when we feel empathy, we're driven to help, and that act of helping lifts us up too. So, even when you feel like you've got nothing left, remember, you do. You have the ability to give hope, and in doing so, you create hope for yourself. If you see someone struggling, don't wait for them to ask for help. Pull them out of their own water, dry them off, and let them rest. That act of giving can ignite something within them, and it can do the same for you. If you're leading a team, a family, or even just yourself, remember that people will fight for you and for themselves when they have hope. But if you take hope away, they'll stop fighting. They'll stop believing that things can get better. And so will you. So, if you're feeling stuck, if you're tired, if you're pushing up that hill, remember this: giving hope can be as powerful as receiving it. You've got more strength in you than you realize, and sometimes the best way to find it is to offer it to someone else. Keep going, you've got this.